tries to take my $2,000 gaming PC because I'm not using it to play games. Okay, this happened fairly recently, like a couple months ago, but I didn't put it into writing until now. You thought my only experience was my other story I posted. Oh no. Unfortunately I deal with a lot of eps, because apparently my many hobbies/interests are too good for me, or I don't deserve nice things, so entitled people think they can take my stuff, or try to take advantage of me being a nice person. It doesn't help that I'm a middle class person living in a pretty upscale/spoiled rich kid community. I'll admit, I had people use me as a freaking doormat for many years. Some were former close friends, but lately, I had enough and my tolerance for these kinds of people is very small. Most of my app stories are small and uneventful, but this is not one of those stories. With that said, here is the story of how Nem thought her little demon spawn deserved my brand new PC, because I was misusing it. It's kind of long, so I put a TLDR at the bottom. Some background. Ever since I graduated high school, I had a love of engineering, design, metrology, science of measurement, and 3D modeling. I'm now professional in the metrology field with strong mechanical and design engineering background, and I still 3D model things as a side hobby and occasionally work with people who need models for 3D printing, patent drawings, 3D animations to demonstrate ideas, lots of things. Recently, my trusty old workhorse PC died. I've been nursing it for a while, but the thing was almost 10 years old, and it was just time for an upgrade anyway. I needed a computer that would handle my 3D modeling software as well as my several drawing programs. I draw and do digital paintings as a hobby as well. The best fit for me ended up being a gaming laptop that cost just over $2,000 USD. As a comparison, my old computer was about $800 brand new, so this was a major upgrade for me. I love this laptop. It's fast, handles my software without breaking a sweat, and I get to play some great PC games on it as well without lags or crashes. The only downside that it's fairly heavy and awkward to carry around due to having a large wide screen, but that's it. It's a serious machine and it gets shit done. A week after I got the laptop, a friend of my dad contacted me and asked me if I could do some 3D modeling and animation work for a brand new invention he came up with that was recently patented. I won't go into details because he's protective of his idea. I don't blame him. It's pretty original and helpful, but I agreed to get started right away. I work full time, so I can only work on projects like this after I get home or on weekends. I found that the best place to do my work is not actually at home, but a small family-owned coffee shop near my house. It's a popular little place next to a community college and many students go to hang out and work on their assignments while grabbing a quick snack and hot drink. I love working here because I like the atmosphere and I concentrate better with some mild background noise, and a calm coffee shop setting is perfect. I usually visit this shop once a week, usually a Saturday afternoon, and the employees know me well. Every day I visit, it's the same thing. I get my pastry and cup of tea, find a quiet corner all to myself where I can't be bothered, set up my computer, and start working. This went on without incident for weeks, until the following happened. The cast, me, antisocial coffee shop dweller, M, entitled mom, Ek, entitled kid, N, nice employee, my hero and my friend. So as I explained above, it was a typical Saturday afternoon for me. I was in my corner working on my laptop and I have been there for a good hour already. I was in the zone, so focused on my work that I was kind of in my own little world and not paying attention to anything else until I heard the obnoxious giggling and screeching from a small, misbehaving child. The shop is small, but long and rectangular with the counter and registers and small kitchen in the middle, near the front, and a large dining area in the back that kind of wrapped around the central kitchen and registers like a horseshoe. I was way in the back corner, and I heard this kid who was way up front with his mom. He was maybe 7, but could have been older. I don't judge ages very well, and was prancing around his mom loudly laughing and just being annoying. Look, I get it, it's a happy kid and all, and normally laughing kids put a smile on my face, but this was a quiet coffee shop that me and a lot of college students used to work and study. It was not a place for a loud child, and he was getting annoyed looks from many other customers. As you may have guessed, this kid and his mom are the Ek and M of this story. M didn't even seem to mind that her child was disturbing other patrons, and even a couple of employees were rolling their eyes at these two. The child then starts to run around the whole place as if it were a playground, running up to tables, flying past them, and making loud noises the entire time. Again, M didn't seem to care at all. She was now next in line and was placing her order. I thought, good, they will be out of here shortly, but I was wrong. After M got her food and drink, she sat down at the back corner opposite of me. Her kid sat down momentarily to stuff a muffin into his mouth, and then he continued his rampage through the dining area. Too stubborn and engrossed in my work to pack up and leave, I bring out my noise-cancelling headphones to try and drown out Ek's thundering feet and loud voice. This worked for a while, until I heard a loud voice right next to me. Ek, loudly, what are you doing? I turned to see Ek sitting on the chair next to me, muffin crumbs all over his face and mystery stains on his shirt. Me, annoyed, but still calm. Oh, I'm just working. Ek, what are you working on? Me, it's hard to explain, but I'm making a model. I turn my computer so he can see the screen. See. Ek, what game is that? Me, oh no, this isn't a game. It's a modeling software. I use it for work. Ek, why aren't you playing a game? Me, well, I do play games, but I'm working right now. I'm actually pretty busy, so can you go back over to your mom, please? Ek, but that computer is for games. Me, well, it is a gaming laptop, but I use it for work too. Ek then places a finger on my computer near the keyboard, where it has a sticker full of icons that describe what it can do and some of its specs. One of these icons is a game controller with gaming written under it. He looks up with me with the most fake pouty face I've ever seen, as if he's trying to prove a point. Me, yeah, I know, but I got it because I need it for my work too. Most other computers can't handle my modeling software, but this one does. Ek, well, can I play on it? I'm bored. Me, I'm sorry, kid, but I'm busy, and I really need to get my work done. Can you please go back to your mom? Ek flashes me another pouty look and walks over to his mom, seemingly defeated. I put my headphones back on and crank my music up because I was expecting the following to happen, and it did. M, hello. Me, I can faintly hear her over my music, but I ignore her. My failed attempted to get rid of her. M, excuse me, miss. Hello. Don't ignore me. I know you can hear me. After realizing she wasn't going to leave me alone, I sighed and take off my headphones. Me, yes. I said it kind of sarcastically as I was about at my limit with these two already. M, don't be so rude. I was just wondering why my son can't play on your computer for a bit. It will only be for a few minutes. Me, lady, I don't want to let him play on my computer. M, why are you being so rude? I've done nothing to you. Me, well, you let your kid run around like a wild animal while me and most others here are trying to get work done. This is a coffee shop, not a playground. M, why can't you just be nice? My son is just bored, that's all. If you want him to stop running around, why don't you give him something to do? Let him play on your computer. Me, why don't you give him something to do? I'm not his mom, you are. Ek then seems to realize that acting up may get him to play on my computer, so he starts running around making noises again. M, that's a gaming laptop anyway. It's for playing games. I'm sure you have games on there. Just let my son play for a few minutes and he'll stop. Me, lady, I doubt you know the difference between a gaming computer and a typewriter. So what if it's a gaming laptop? I use it to get work done, and it's expensive, so I'm not going to let some random kid start playing with it. It's my computer, so I can do what I want with it. Now leave me alone. M, if you can't use that thing as it's intended, why can't you give it to my son? He loves to play games. He'll put it to good use. Me, ma'am, I'm not telling you again. The answer is no. Didn't your parents tell you not to take other people's things, or were they just as rude and entitled as you are? M, I'm not being rude. You are being rude, and you are being selfish too. Just let my son use the computer for 5 minutes. I start to pack up my things, close my laptop, and start to slide it into its case. M, where are you going? Me, I'm leaving. I need to get work done, and you ruined that. Thanks and fuck you. M just stared at me mouth agape as I get up and walk away. Ek realizes he isn't going to get his way and starts to fake wail and cry as his mom follows me. M, you stop right there. You can't take my son's computer like that. At this point, the employees see us, and one of them walks over. This is Annie and she's actually a girl I went to high school with. We were never really friends, but knew each other well enough that we knew each other's names and would occasionally talk. Annie, ma'am, is there a problem? M, yes there is. This woman was rude to me and my son and she even swore in front of us. She's also taking my son's laptop. Annie, ma'am, this lady comes here all the time and we've seen her use that computer. I don't think she ever gave it to you. Me, she's just upset because she wanted her son to play on the laptop and I wouldn't let him. Annie, ma'am, that is her laptop. She doesn't have to let your son play on it. M, what is the harm in it? My son is bored and wants something to do. She should let him use the laptop. It's a gaming computer anyway and she wasn't playing games on it. She wasn't using it right at all. Annie, ma'am, calm down. We saw your son acting up earlier and asked you before to keep him under control, but he's now bothered one of our customers. I'm going to ask you to leave. Robbo, you can stay if you want. I'm sorry for the trouble. M, how can you defend such a rude woman and kick out a paying customer? She's just here to use her computer. I doubt she even paid for anything here. This is a coffee shop, not a computer lab. Me, I'm a paying customer too, and lots of people come here to work on stuff. We are near a college campus. What do you expect? M, so you are all just greedy millennials. You need to respect your elders and your customers. Annie, please leave, ma'am. I'm not going to ask again. M grabs her still crying son and heads for the door, but not before turning around and addressing the entire coffee shop. M, you are all rude, selfish, fucking millennials. You need to learn some respect. She then leaves and slams the door behind her hard enough to knock down a sign hanging from it. Annie apologizes to me again and offers me a free pastry, but I turn it down. After I cooled off, I sat back down at my table, but I was no longer in the mood to work. I sat there and drew on my computer instead. Annie then came over on her break and talked with me for a bit. We are actually good friends now, and she still works at the shop and I see her every time I go there to work. I've never seen Em or Ek again, but this being a fairly small town, it may not be the last time I see them. Hopefully, since this coffee shop is filled with rude and selfish millennials, Em will stay away, and I can work in peace from now on. TLDR. Ek sees my gaming computer and thinks that I should only play games on it, since I'm not using it for games, and, therefore, misusing it. M thinks I should let her son use it because he's bored. M then calls me selfish for not letting her spoiled child play on a brand new expensive computer. Edit. Holy crap. Well, I didn't expect this post to explode, and I certainly didn't expect 200+ comments in my inbox. I'll try to get to them individually, but I thought I would answer some questions I saw as I skimmed through the comments. First off, thanks for the silver and gold, and whoever gave me a premium. You didn't need to do that, but I really appreciate it. Second, I don't want to say any brands. I don't want to sound like I'm advertising anything, but my computer has these specs. I'm not the most computer savvy in terms of specs, so I had a lot of help from my BF when I was shopping for a new PC. 15.6-inch screen, not the biggest out there, but bigger than my old laptop, and I'm not used to carrying around a laptop this large. CPU, Intel Core i7-8750H. GPU NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050, 4GB GDDR5, 16 gigs of RAM, came with 8, but I had 8 more installed, 1TB hard drive, but I have a 2TB external where I save all my work. It's not the most advanced or powerful computer on the market, but it's not an average Joe one either. For what I need to do, it's more than enough, and I love it. The CAD software I use is also super nice and very popular with big industries. Not going to say what it is, but here's a screenshot from one of my side projects. https://unga.com/unjin, just modeling up stuff I find on my workbench for fun. Those of you who model may recognize the interface. Did this story happen? Yes. I mean, yeah, I get it. You can't, and really shouldn't, believe everything you read on the internet, and I get a lot of people post fake stories to try to get attention or views or whatnot. Truth is, crazy people like em exist, and her spouting off about stupid millennials and shit is honestly not an uncommon thing to happen in my hometown. I mentioned that I live in an upscale neighborhood with a lot of rich and entitled people. People are batshit crazy here, and as soon as I find a better, yet affordable place to live, I'm moving there. It's the kind of town where you can get yelled at by crazy people just for looking at them the wrong way. It's kind of stupid, and, as I mentioned, I deal with EPSA a lot because of this town. I have my little group of friends, but pretty much everyone I meet these days are spoiled rotten and drive cars that mommy and daddy got for them, while I drive around in my little Chevy Malibu I'm paying off myself. If you were to spend a day in this place, you would see where I'm coming from easily. Some of the dialogue in my story may be off a little. This happened a while ago, and I don't tend to remember dumb conversations after a week or so, but how the situation went down was pretty much like this. The part where em screamed at everyone in the shop really happened though, and quite a few people laughed about it when she finally left. As for lovely em's age, and how she was shouting at all of us millennials, she was maybe middle-aged, definitely somewhere in her 40s at least. She had an older, but not old face, but she didn't look young either. She did have a pretty young kid though, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the wrinkles on her face were caused by how much stress she was inflicting on herself by screaming at every selfish, rude millennial she met. And have I ever met a Karen that was a Karen? Yes. I know two who are the sweetest people in the world. My Aunt Karen, and one of my coworkers is named Karen too. She's a sweet lady who always has a candy dish on her desk and asks me how I'm doing every day. People like MD give Karens a bad name. I'm actually not sure why Karen became a term for every entitled or rude bitch of a woman out there. I'm sorry for all you decent Karens out there. Games I play on my laptop, not much, and the small library I have is a mixed bag. I play Dark Souls on some days and a Hat in Time on others. I don't play Fortnite or Minecraft, and I have nothing against them, just not my thing. I mainly use my computer for work, but I do play games on it when I need to chill. It handles anything I do on it like a pro. Would I have let Ek play on my laptop at all? If he wasn't so loud and disruptive when he came into the shop and asked nicely, I actually would have let him play for a bit. My little cousin likes to play Hat in Time on it when I go to her house, and, so long as he was careful and polite, I would let another child play on it. The thing that bothered me with Ek was that he was already making me mad by being so loud, and his mom just let him run wild. Also, I didn't want sticky fingers and muffin crumbs on my brand new computer. Maybe I shouldn't have swore at him, but I was mad that my productive evening was disturbed. I do have a short fuse these days because of how many people have abused my trust or tried to take my things. I learned to stand up for myself, but I also grew quite the sailor mouth that mainly comes to the surface when I meet rude people or when I play Dark Souls. I really hope you guys enjoyed that story. Thanks for watching another Edit Readings video. May Karens be punished away, and may your revenge be ice cream, sweet and served cold. Like and subscribe to find money today. Binge watch your favorite subreddits from links in the bio. Okay, I'm done now. Good day.